Diary of Samuel Pepys, 19th of May, 1660. Up early, hearing nothing of the child, and went to Scheveling, where I found no getting on board, though the Duke of York sent every day to see whether he could do it or no. Here I met with Mr. Pinckney and his sons, and with them went back to the Hague, in our way lighting and going to see a woman that makes pretty rock work in shells, which could I have carried safe, I would have bought some of. At the Hague we went to buy some pictures, where I saw a sort of painting done upon woollen cloth, drawn as if there was a curtain over it, which was very pleasant, but dear. Another pretty piece of painting I saw, on which there was a great wager laid by young Pinckney and me whether it was a principal or a copy, but not knowing how to decide, it was broken off, and I got the old man to lay out as much as my piece of gold come to, and so save my money, which had been 24 shillings lost, I fear. While we were here buying of pictures, we saw Mr. Edward and his company land, who told me that they had been at Leyden all night, at which I was very angry with Mr. Pierce, and shall not be friends, I believe, a good while. To our lodging to dinner. After that, out to buy some linen to wear against tomorrow, and so to the barber's. After that, by wagging to Lawsdoon, where the 365 children were born. We saw the hill where they say the house stood and sunk, wherein the children were born. The basins wherein the male and female children were baptized do stand over a large table that hangs upon a wall, with the whole story of the thing in Dutch and Latin, beginning Margarita Herman Commitisa. The thing was done about 200 years ago. The town is a little small village which answers much to one of our small villages, such a one as Chesterton in all respects, and one could have thought it in England but for the language of the people. We went into a little drinking house where there were a great many Dutch boors, eating of fish in a boorish manner, but very merry in their way. But the houses here as neat as in great places. From thence to the Hague, again playing at crambo in the wagon. Mr. Edward, Mr. Ibbott, Will Howe, Mr. Pinckney, and I. When we were come thither, Will Howe and Mr. Ibbott and Mr. Pinckney went away for Scheveling, while I and the child to walk up and down the town, where I met my old chamber fellow, Mr. Anderson, and a friend of his, both physicians, Mr. Wright, who took me to a Dutch house, where there was an exceeding pretty lass, and right for the sport. But it being Saturday, we could not have much of her company. But however, I stayed with them, having left the child with my uncle Pickering, whom I met in the street, till 12 at night. By that time Charles was almost drunk, and then broke up, he resolving to go thither again after he had seen me at my lodging, and lie with the girl, which he told me he had done in the morning. Going to my lodging, we met with the bellman, who struck upon a clapper, which I took in my hand, and it is just like the clapper that our boys fright the birds away from the corn within summer time in England. To bed.